Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the vlogs. I'm Daniel and I'm a cyclist living in China. And today I want to discuss about feeling on the bike for some of these longer endurance training rides. Now, during a race situation, you want to be able to take in a lot of easy to digest carbs, get that energy in so you can keep putting out power. However, I don't think it's a very good idea to be taking in a lot of gels and high amounts of sugar on your everyday training rides. And as a everyday cyclist or an athlete, you're spending a lot of time on the bike, whether that's 5 to 25 hours a week. And if you're solely fueling those rides with gels or with carb mixed drinks, one, that's going to be quite expensive, and two, it's maybe not the best thing nutrition wise for you to be doing for your long-term health. You know, if you're a pro athlete, that's a completely different consideration, but let's be honest, most of us aren't pros and won't ever be pros, nor do we really deep down want to strive for that. So I want to talk about how I go about fueling a 2 to 5 hour ride that I'm doing, particularly in Zone 2 endurance training. I don't use gels, I use real food, and I have discovered one super fuel here in China that I never had access to in this format back in the US. So I'm going to go get some today at the grocery store and show you guys what that is. Yeah.
没抽着。姐，红薯干多少钱？红薯干。嗯。
Dried sweet potatoes. Picked up about 250 grams of that. So for 100 grams of dried sweet potato, you're looking at about 73 grams of carb. And the difference between having 73 grams of carb from a gel or two gels versus 100 grams of sweet potato, you're getting fiber in the sweet potato. So this is going to be a lot more slow release of a energy source versus taking in a gel, which means your blood glucose levels are going to spike a lot slower. You're not going to have this massive sugar rush. And I think that's really good for these longer endurance training rides. Not as good in a race situation, although you should still try taking in real food towards the beginning of a race. Yeah, so this only cost me, 6 RMB, so less than 1 USD for what will last me for 2 rides. Find me some gels that are going to be that cheap and going to last you that long. That's not going to happen. And I have one other companion that I'll use in coordination with this, which I'll show you when we get back home, because I have a whole bunch of it at home. They've started fertilizing all of the fields, and the other day someone was going around with their cart saying in Mandarin, chicken poop, fresh chicken poop for sale, come get it. So I guess they use a lot of natural fertilizer here. It's about to get really busy around here as all the schools are about to release and parents come and pick up. There isn't really like a school bus or anything around here. I'm not sure if it'll pick up in the video, hopefully not too bad, but it's been a lot of wind lately. Yesterday we had 60 kilometers per hour wind gust. I wasn't feeling too well yesterday and today anyway, so I wasn't going to go out and ride, but oh my goodness, that'd be pretty much impossible to ride, and even these gusts right here would not be fun at all. Okay, so we touched on the benefits of using real food in your training, but what are the cons of using real food while on the bike? Well, for one, it's a lot heavier to carry with you. And two, if you're in more of a intense training session or you are doing a race, that fiber content, which is really good for that slow release during an endurance ride, is actually quite a problem when it comes to race situations, because you need to take on so much fuel that fiber content is going to cause some GI issues. And I find with me, if I take on more than 100 grams of the sweet potato at once, I start having some GI issues. And I'm not sure if that's trainable because it's a fiber issue, not a how many grams of carbs can your gut absorb. So once I get back home here, I'm gonna get on the bike for a quick training session. Haven't been feeling well enough to go actually out and ride the past 2 days. So I'm just gonna jump on for a short My Whoosh session and show you some of the cheaper methods I use to prepare fuel, both for indoor sessions, rides, and races. Okay, so here's the other piece of fuel that I use. This guy here is Hawthorne. And it's kind of like, maybe a lot of you are familiar with it, but in the US I don't think it's very common because I'd never heard of it before. It's kind of like a sweet, tangy crab apple is how I would describe it. It comes in like these little like fruit roll-up type strips. Fruity, sweet, with a little bit of tang to it. Now, if you are going to go the direction of gels and you want to save some money, you can get these small little hydration flasks. See if there's a website there. But you can find these guys, if you're not in China, you can find these guys on like Temu, which is actually, I think, where I bought these before we moved here, for really cheap. And you can just boil some water, throw in a bunch of sugar, make it a concentrated mix, just keep track of how much you throw in per volume, so you know what your concentrations are of how much you should be taking per hour. Pour it in here, let it cool, and put it in the fridge, and you're good to go for the next day. I haven't made any gels yet with these, but it's on my list to do as the temperature warms up. For the winter rides, I don't mind just putting regular sugar in my water bottles and running those like 2 bottles with like 45 grams of carbs, so 90 grams total, taking 1 per hour when I'm out. But during the summer, I need more hydration. And when you're really thirsty and then you're having to drink carb mix, it's really not satisfying. It doesn't ever satisfy that thirst, at least not for me. So as the weather starts warming up here, I'm definitely gonna be switching over to gels for supplementing on those longer rides or more intense training sessions. Okay guys, I'm gonna jump on for a quick training session here, but tomorrow's looking really nice. Hopefully if I'm feeling better, I can take you guys along with me for one of my favorite climbing loops that I've been doing. And if you want more of this type of content surrounding nutrition on the bike or off the bike, let me know in the comments down below, especially surrounding weight loss, because it's been the combination of cycling, the exercise, consistency with changes in diet that have allowed me to lose that weight that I talked about in the past video. So please give this a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next ride.